Yeah. How was the weekend?
Was great, sir. What about yours?
Well, I'm thankful I'm alive. I'm thankful.
Okay, sir, that's great. Glad to hear.
How was the exam?
Well, sir, I think the time was not enough for it, sir.
No, man.
For the
You
last
were,
one, not really write anything.
yeah, man. You were given enough time, man. And you were given some type of aid, to use your Bible. So you should have it down to the T.
Yes, sir.
That is what make it easier, sir.
Brother Israel, could you lead us in prayer?
Yes, sir. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we give you thanks and glory that you alone deserve. Thank you, Father, for allowing us to come here in the classes of the First Corinthians class, the Father. We ask you, Father, to send your Holy Spirit so that we can understand what we are going to be taught. We ask you, Father, for your guidance, for protection, for your kindness towards us, dear Father. Please be with us, provide for us. This we pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Okay. I know it's a short chapter and would have had our assignment given, but just see if I can do a little introductory remarks, and as I said, I like to go on by outline. I don't like to just jump in something else that we can truly follow through together. What we need to be here that Paul's interest in chapter 13 was not to instruct his readers how they may best use their gifts. That wasn't his interest. It's not how they must best use their gift, but how to have their priorities straight. All right, let that settle a little bit. Paul was not telling them how to best use their gift. Because, we discuss a whole lot in chapter number 12 about the various gifts. Huh?
Yes, sir.
But he was telling them how to set their priorities. That's page 49. And number 2. Okay?
Yes,
I
sir.
wanted to just draw a line under that. How to set their priorities straight. Then he tell them this, that love is that which they should strive for. Just straight. The number one priority is love. Then the chapter can be broken into 3 parts. Talks about the contrast of love, 1 through 3, verses 1 through 3 of 1 Corinthians 13. And it speaks about the character of love. And I plan to use this as a sermon one of these days. Chapter 13, 4 through 7, the character of love. And thirdly, the constancy of love. Chapter 13, 8 through 13. All right, so we have the contrast of love, the character of love, and the constancy of love. If I were you, I would underline those on my outline, because I would love to see those coming out back in the exam. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So just repeat that me so that we can say we are on the same line. Brother Solin.
Yes, sir. The character of love, the consistency of love. These are the last two, but for the previous ones, I don't remember those.
Character, contrast,
Yes.
constancy.
Contrast. Go ahead, Brother Israel. The contrast.
Of love, character.
That's right, the contrast. He compares love.
Yes.
It's like a comparison. So the contrast of love, the character, and the constancy of love. And that's what is covered in chapter 13. Now we're going to ask Brother Solin to pick up with chapter 13, 1 through 7. I think that's your assignment. Am I right?
No, sir, I don't think you have given any to us, but I can do it.
Yes, man. I gave you chapter 13, 1 through 7, and Brother Israel, chapter 13, 8 through 13.
Well, I don't know because I was too focused on the exam, but I did not remember. So sorry.
Okay. Well, the possibility then, that is it. But I have it down here and it's written.
All right.
And that was right at the exam time. But let's time to go through then.
Yes.
All right, the tongues of men and of angels. The tongues of men and of angels. This expression is important in two ways. First, it shows that the contents of the chapter is directed foremost against the abuse of the gift of tongues. All right, and you remember what we looked at in chapter 12 and verse number 28?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
12:28 actually tells us what?
God gave gifts to everyone according to their abilities to fulfill certain in the church.
All right. So he's getting to the point of saying one, and I want you to get this right, that the foremost thing of the gift was not on tongues, where tongues is listed last. Secondly, it shows that in the apostles' mind, the gift of tongues involved both knowledge, are known and unknown. The Corinthians consider these tongues to be languages of angels, such as association with tongues, speaking in pagan, and write this down, in pagan worship at Corinth. And we are going to talk about that a little more. In the pagan worship in Corinth, when a priest or devotee spoke in tongues, it was considered that he spoke in the language of the gods. Speaking in tongues. The apostle is not so lacking in tact to accuse Israelis of actually incorporating pagan worship into their activities. Is approaching the next 2 chapters is to circumscribe the exercise of the gift, that inordinate exercise of it with and will be eliminated. All right, so it will be wiped out. And we are going to go on, but I want to bear in mind as the word tongue is used, and I think we said it in chapter 12. We are thinking about languages, and we use the comparison of Acts chapter 2, the various nations that speak various languages, and we use the illustration of you men that speak French and French Creole, and we in Jamaica that speak English and what we call patois, but truly it will be still Creole. Don't. If you say it in French, it's going to be Creole. You know, so he's talking about language that could be understood. All right?
Yes, sir.
And you would have done the Greek, and is a word glossalo. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Glossa.
Yes, and that actually means language. So is taught to them to understand that there's nothing wrong with tongues. This would not be something that will last for ever.
Yes, sir.
It will be eliminated where, like in Acts chapter 2, those that did not study the language could have spoken it easily. And that would be reinforced a little more in chapter 14. So I'm not preempting, but I also wanted to get this. Then it says, if you do all of the speaking in tongues, you know all of the Creole, you know all of the French, you know all of the English, and you know all of the patois, and you have not charity, which is a Greek word, agape, for love. He said, but if you have not agape, you are nothing. I want that to sink in a little bit. You do all of this, but you are nothing. It is, unfortunately, that's serious injustice to the force of the Greek term. This is ultimately that which is in conformity to the character and the nature of God. It is not benevolence, yet produce it. It is not motivated or moved by external circumstances. Yes, always act appropriately in response to them. So it is not some type of mystical thing, this tongue that is talking about, but talking about genuine language and also genuine love. It says you have genuine balance in languages, but if you do not have love, you have nothing, don't?
Yes, sir.
It says love has been to Paul and the rest. Number one, the best spiritual gift that anyone can have is
Love.
love. Best spiritual gift. And he's going to go on. He says, though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor and personal dedication, though I give my body to be burned, without love, it profited me nothing. And you would have seen that around where persons do all type of rituals, but do not really have love.
Yes, sir.
You know, I don't know if you are keeping abreast with what took place in Montego Bay. You have heard of it, right?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, the type of human sacrifice that they're talking about. Even though you sacrifice your body and you have not love, then you are nothing. You gain nothing. And the word of religion, brother Israel and brother Solon, is filled with hypocrisy.
Yes, sir.
And not just in the denomination, it happened in the church. When I say the word of religion, filled with hypocrisy. Do you have any statement that you want to make before we touch chapter 13 and verse 4?
Yes, sir. I'd like to say that this is most likely, the same thing that has been said to King Saul, because he was trying, to make sacrifices for God, but he was not willing to obey. However, obedience in the sight of God is much more important than sacrifices. So we would realize that truly people might be giving, to the poor and stuff, but they are not doing it out of love. They are probably doing it for their own benefit. They know what they are doing. They have a particular reason, but not because they love. And since it is being done like that, so it is in vain. This is completely nothing.
Brother Israel, do you want to add something?
I don't know if I'm right, but let us take the person of Jesus Christ. When Jesus Christ came in the earth, if what he would have done, like healing people, and made the blind see, healing. Yes, made the blind see, made the cripple walk, made a lot of miracles. If he had done that without love, this could be nothing for humanity. But he did that with a great love. And that is why we are here this morning. It is by love that we are here. By a great love, which is the love of God. Even though he do a lot of things for us, but he still loves us. And this
All right.
three verses, Paul showing that in everything that you are doing, put love first, because love have a great importance in our life.
Yes, you all well said. Both of you said well. This is really the contrast of love in comparison to the other gifts. Love become number one. It's just like when you think about food and clothing, you put what? Food as number one, don't?
Yes, sir.
If you don't eat, you won't have anybody to put on clothes, don't?
Yes, sir.
So the superiority of love is shown in contrast to the in verses 4 through 7. It talks about the character, what love is like. What do you see? What comes from love? When you look at a person that love, what are some of those things that will come out? And he says it's long suffering. It is not easily aroused to resentment. And I want that to kind of get in a little bit. You don't get angry quickly. You're not ready to fight quickly. You don't have outbursts quickly. So once you see a person that start to get angry easily, then you know that love is not fully mature in that person, don't?
Yes, sir.
So it is long suffering, it's suffered long. In fact, one person says that it knows how to what? Bear up under pressure.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. I'm coming. I don't know if while you were back home, you usually go to the woodland to look wood. I don't know if you know about wood, cooking with wood fire, not gasoline, not gas, should say, not cooking gas, but wood fire. And you will put that bundle of wood on your head and you will carry it home. You bear up under it. Or if you have to go and fetch water with bucket, you bear up under it. And this is what love does. It bears up under pressure. In spite of the pressure, love will be there. Yes, brother Solin.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to take an example in our everyday life. You know, if we are taking example of a mother, the love of that mother for is her child is something, you know, unexplainable, unbelievable. Because no matter what the child does, like the child, time after time, probably poop on himself or pee on himself, but the mother is still there cherishing that child because she's affectionate, so that's love. It's long suffering. She is able to support everything that the child is doing. I hope I'm making sense, sir.
Yeah, man, you're making sense.
Yes.
It's suffered, bear up in spite of everything. And that same mother might not do the same with the next person's child alone.
Yes, sir.
Then a next character of love is kind. Huh?
Yes, sir.
In fact, according to your outline, you will see that it says that this word is used only here in this form in the New Testament. It actually means useful. Be ready to help others. Be of good service to others. Being kind is doing that which will help others, not to help yourself. As it is said that human beings are born selfish creatures. Let it sink a little bit. The first person you think about is your self.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You go to the dining table and you look about the food and you think about making sure you get what you want, right? Right, Israel?
Yes, sir.
But it is saying here now that being kind is making sure that others are taken care of.
Yes, sir.
Being useful to others. Then it went on and said you can look at the next example of love, character of love, and that it's vaunted, not itself. It does not sound its own praises. People say, I am a good man, I have done this, I have done that. Love doesn't do that. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Love doesn't go around saying what they have done for others. And I want you to kind of get it in. You know, sometimes we think we have love and we don't really let it in the air. It says it doesn't vaunt it itself. It don't sound its own trumpet. Love don't go around and say, I am the brightest.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Love don't go around saying, I am the strongest. Love don't go around saying, I'm the kindest. So these are some characters that you can see, and they are characters that we must try to emulate. Then it says in a negative way also, it is not puffed up. And your watch is using it. Love does not vaunt itself, the negative. Love does not puffed up. It is not swelled up with pride. You ever watch some person that just walk and you can see that they are proud people?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, show off.
Oh, you learn a good term there, man. Yeah, man, they are show off. So love doesn't show off, and I'm going to reinforce your term. It doesn't show off.
Yes, sir.
But it says also, it's not easily provoked. And it is similar to the idea that love is not that which gets hungry easily. It's like when I said that it suffers long.
Yes, sir.
In spite of the fact that you have the right to be angry, you restrain from getting what? Angry.
Yes, sir.
One person says that it's always wise sometimes to keep your mouth shut, keep silent, and walk away and don't reply. Huh?
And don't come back.
Don't reply.
Oh, okay, sir.
Because in replying, you might just say that which will irritate the next person. And they might say something that will irritate you. And then you might get into a fight.
Yes, sir.
Just sometimes it's best to just keep what? Quiet.
Yes, sir.
And you know, we would have gone over this. You would have heard lessons from this text over and over. But I don't know if we look at it. It's not easily provoked. You don't rub raw. You don't rub love raw easily. Look at Acts chapter 17 and verse 16. Read, please. Acts 17, 16.
Now, while Paul waited for them at Athens, his spirit was provoked within him when he saw that the city was given over to idols.
All right. But if you watch it, you know, you watch it that Paul did not feel good because of what was happening, don't?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So there's nothing wrong in getting angry, don't?
Mhm.
But you should not get angry easily. You get me?
Yes, sir.
You know, the scripture says, be angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down on your wrath. Huh?
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, Israel, you want to say something. I can see it.
All right. Yes, sir. It is like many images in the Bible, like Jesus. He was hungry for a good purpose. While he walked to the temple, he saw many people like sold things in the temple of God or the house of God. by that he was hungry. By the fact that Paul see the Christian worshiping idols, by that provoked him to be angry. By the fact that God see Israel, the one that he brought out in the land of Egypt, worship a golden calf, that make him angry. And I can say that is, you can angry, but for a good purpose.
For good reason.
All right. Yeah, man. That's good. Then it says it does not think evil. Oops. Have you ever thought of evil?
Yes, sir, I did before.
Of course. Anyone that reach certain age and that they have never, then they're very, very wicked, don't? Very, very sinful, because John says, he that says has not sinned deceiveth himself, and the truth is not in him, Lord.
Yes, sir.
So it says, it thinketh no evil. The expression of love does not keep track of offenses committed against it. This is not an easy thing. It must be mature, it must be cultivated. Because when people say ugly things about you, it's like it's a part of your mind. It becomes program. Your mind is like a program. You know, y'all are technologically more accurate than I am. I'm not very good at technology. But it's like you put in certain information in the computer, it stays there, don't?
Yes, sir.
And if certain things, you touch certain things and it will be reactivated, don't?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's similar to the mind. Certain things said that is bad against you. And when you see that person, it seems like it what? Activate the thing, don't?
Yes, sir. It makes you emotional.
Oh, you know what I'm saying now. But here Paul is saying, love do not keep a record of evil. So you don't split out again and says, he did me wrong, so I'm gonna do him wrong, don't?
Yes, sir.
Then he says, rejoice it not in iniquity, but take delight in that which is good. Love does not take delight in that which goes against God, but it does not take delight in evil. That kind of confusing, maybe. Let I get it a little clearer. Love does not rejoice in wickedness,
Yes, sir.
in evil, but it should always rejoice in the truth. This may be taken in an instrumental sense, rejoiceth together with truth. He's saying that with truth you rejoice, with evil you become saddened, don't? All right, you're asking question.
Yes, sir. Everything clear. All that we have seen so far, the characteristic, what love does and what it does not, everything is clear, sir.
Yes, there's 2 years that is somewhat hard to swallow quickly. Bear it all things. If it is taken the wrong way, we can think that years that you can just become gullible, right? And believe it all things. Bear it all things, in a sense, covers all things. As much as lies within you, it covers. Look at 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 8. Let's turn there. And read, please.
And above all things, have fervent love for one another. For love will cover a multitude of sin.
All right, read it again because you know it well, but I want to re-emphasize it.
Read it again.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And above all things, have fervent love for one another. For love will cover a multitude of sins.
Oh, you what?
Yes, sir.
Love will cover a multitude of sin. Love bears all things, and literally, love covers all things.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to expose persons.
What is it, sir?
There are certain things you don't have to expose about persons.
Expose.
It says it covers a multitude of sin. That's what love does.
Yes, sir.
But
And
look at. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. And I can go further to say that that's why some of the times we say God is love, because no matter the amount of sin that we have committed, He is still compassionate toward us. He is always ready to forgive us because He loves us.
Yes, sir. His
Yeah.
mercy and grace is always yes. Thanks. Powerful statement. But look at the next one. It actually believes that all things. This does not suggest that it is gullible. Because you must be able to know right from wrong, don't you? You can't believe everything, don't?
Yes, sir.
It is telling us that it believes well of other unless convinced otherwise. Let that come and let it go a little bit. Believe all things in others, good. You look for the good in others, unless it is viewed otherwise. If you are informed otherwise, then you cannot believe the wrong, don't?
Yes, sir.
All right, maybe I didn't get that across well. Do you want to illustrate to help me, brother Israel? You know, convince me that you get what I'm trying to say.
In that one, I would say understand, not believe, but try to understand what the person saying. This basically I understand here. It is not because I believe you, but I'm trying to understand your what you are saying. Are you understand me, sir?
In between the gully.
Okay. He said believes all things, but I will replace the word believes by understand.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, but if you understand, then you know that everything is not right, don't?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So there are some that you will have to what? Ignore.
Yes.
Some you will have to discard. Because if I tell you a lie and you found out that is a lie, then you don't hold on to that as truth. You get me?
Yes, sir.
So in our own local language, it is saying that you must believe unless your other is convinced that it is contrary to God's will. And you look at the negatives, that is continue. Then it says that opposite all things, beg your pardon, the positive, opposite all things rather than having a negative and critical spirit. It is always positive and hopeful. Love is always positive and hopeful. Then endure all things. This is termed as a military term. It means to sustain the assault of the enemy. So the adversary is coming, and then it's saying now that you must endure all things. It's similar to where it says that you bear all things, give you a thought of being patient, you know, and all. But as a soldier, you have to stand up. You have to have the backbone to meet your adversary.
Yes, sir.
Because the devil is after you, you know. The devil is after me, you know. Please bear that in mind.
Yes, sir.
The devil is after those who try to do God's will.
Try to deceive our mind.
Ah, you get it. There's no need for the devil to get after those that belong to him.
Yes, sir.
There is already. You get me?
Yes, sir.
All right, brother Solen, here is it. You have $10,000 in your pocket. You need to go out to work for that again.
No, sir.
You need to go work for brother Israel, so he
Yes,
can
sir.
give you your pay of $5,000, so add it up to $15,000 in your pocket. Don't.
Yes, sir. That's right.
So the devil is really after those that are not his.
Yes.
So when you run into all type of trouble, just bear in mind that something good in you, that's the reason the devil is after you. Don't.
Yes, sir. Just as Christ says, he does not come to save those that are already saved, but to seek for
Oh,
the
you're
lost.
perfectly right.
Yes, sir.
Perfectly right. All right. You know, we're going to get a little break. I know that we started late, but my closet getting hot. I don't have AC inside my place here like you all have up there.
All right, sir.
All right, but we are going to stop here and pick up at 11:30. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
So take the break, and 11:30 we'll pick up with verse number 8.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Stop recording, sir. I'm going to stop.